All right, guys, so today is going to be a replacement video. There was a video, the very first video I ever did that started this channel was a video about how there was an $8,000 sign-on bonus, and it was all the things and my experiences about Walmart itself. And some of those things have changed. Some of the things that I said in that video, I'm not allowed to do, such as give a portion of my referral to people. And many of you have commented on my thoughts or questions in my last video about that. I appreciate your guys' feedback. I am going to be doing something for the people who use me as a referral, but my lawyer told me I can't give cash. But I will be able to do the contest where you guys will have a shot at winning like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, something like that. I'm working on that. I don't have any final details on it, but when I do, I'll let you guys know that. But today's video is a replacement video about the Walmart benefits, the pay, basically all the general information. Some of you that have been on my channel for a while may have already seen that video. I am going to put a link in the description down below where you can go watch that old video if you want to. But I would say about 50% of the information doesn't apply anymore. Walmart's even changed the way they do onboarding, and I'm going to talk about that in this video as well. The other thing you guys said you really liked was the last video I did. I put all of the questions and I put the bulletin points with the timestamp in the description. So if I start talking about something that doesn't pertain to you, instead of you waiting for me to get done with that topic and on to the next thing, you can just look at the description and be like, okay, I don't give a crap about the benefits or the pay. I want to know about the home time or whatever. You can just look in the description below. I'll have a timestamp where you can go through and look at every single thing that would pertain to your interest. If you're just interested in Walmart in general, want to know if it's a good job for you, you may want to watch this whole video. Walmart is not the job for everybody. If you want to be home every single day, and if you don't want to make at least $100,000 a year, I can't imagine anybody would make less than 105 or 110. And I'm one of those people, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Walmart's not for you. If you're about to retire and you want your own truck and you don't want to deal with being in a program or what they call slip seating. And when I say slip seating, Walmart slip seating is not slip seating like you would think of at FedEx or Estes, where you're in a new truck every single day. That's not slip seating at Walmart. Either way, if you're about to retire and you want your own truck, Walmart is not the job for you. If you're looking for a job where you are home 2 to 3 days every single week, you get up to 24 paid days off a year, amazing benefits, pay of at least $100,000 a year. I would venture to say most people are probably going to average about $120,000 a year, and you don't want to be busting your ass anymore, then Walmart is the job for you more than likely. And I'm going to explain all that. So with that being said, there's one other thing I want to mention. A lot of you guys have commented to me about how you were scared about Walmart's policies, procedures, and you weren't sure if it was a good job for you because of a guy named Ralph. As you guys know, I try to be a positive person, and I am not going to say anything bad about Ralph. I watched his video. Well, Ralph, I think, is a nice guy. I think he's upset. And if he hasn't gotten the onboarding, not onboarding, he got paid for onboarding, but I guess he didn't get money for his mileage and things like that. And he was supposed to, and I'm actually trying to find out if he was supposed to get that money and let him know if maybe, because he hasn't gotten a response from anybody. And right now, Walmart is swamped. There's so many people applying. Like in his video, he said there was almost 50 people in his class. Guys, when I went through, there were 14. Walmart is exploding with drivers right now. Everybody wants to work here because the pay is some of the best you are going to find out there. And for the kind of job and the work that you're doing, you won't find better money or better benefits than you're going to find at Walmart. I mean, if you find it somewhere else, then you found a unicorn, you need to stay there. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. As you guys know through all my videos, I'm always as honest as I can be with you guys. but I also think Ralph might be upset, and I think that slants his video a little bit. I'm not saying that wasn't his experience, and I'm not saying he's lying. There are some things I think he is, I don't want to say he's lying, but he's not telling the exact truth either. Because there are some things like where he says that Walmart can pull your phone records anytime they want. No, they can or will pull your phone records when you get into an accident that causes at least $1,000 in damages. He's right about that part, but they don't just pull your records whenever you want, which I think he mentions that at the end of the video. He got it right in the beginning part of the video, but he didn't get it right at the end of the video. There were a couple things that he said that weren't quite true. You also got to remember, guys, if he's happy at his new job, why is he making Walmart videos? I don't know, and I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not gonna say anything. All I'm saying, I say that to say, if you guys want information about Walmart, watch my videos, watch other Walmart drivers, talk to Walmart drivers. Most of the Walmart drivers are going to tell you the same things I'm telling you. Now, in this other video that I said in the past, I talked about Walmart drivers who have been around a long time who seem to have soured a little bit. Because Ralph's video said that a bunch of drivers quit because of the new pay system. No. Were some drivers upset? Yes. And I will talk about that when I get to the pay, and I'll explain exactly what happened, why people were upset, but why Walmart did what they did, and then you make your own judgment based on that. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So I say all this because I've gotten a lot of people asking me about Ralph's video. I watched his video. Like I said, he seems like a nice guy, but don't let that be the only video that you watch or the only thing you hear, because for whatever reason, and I don't know why Ralph didn't make it. And from his video, it sounds like he should have made it. I don't know why he didn't. But there was one comment in his video, in his comments, because I went through some of the comments too, just to see if I could get an idea what people were thinking. And one guy mentioned that Walmart only accepts a certain type of person. And by that, they were saying that a person with a positive attitude, somebody that's going to be an exemplary person that will be the type of Walmart driver that they want out there. They don't allow sweatpants. They don't allow flip-flops. You got to have closed shoes. You got to have the uniform. They want people to look and present Walmart in a certain manner. And I'm not saying that Ralph did any of those things. I am sure, I'm gonna bet that he didn't. Why didn't they choose him? I don't know. I will say, I think that the Walmart CDTs were extremely overwhelmed with this big explosion of people in the class, and that might be what happened. There might have been a crap load of confusion. The CDTs were all over the place trying to catch up. And should they have had that many people in a class? No, I don't think they should have. That's where Walmart made a mistake. I think some of the people who didn't pass that class should either get a second look or a retry or something, because I do think that there were some reasons that Ralph is upset. But don't let his upsetness be what deters you from this job. Do some more research, whether it be my videos, other videos, whatever. Don't just take his word for it. But that's all I'm really going to talk about Ralph's video. I thought about doing a comparison. I even reached out and made a comment in his video that, hey, if he wanted to come on, we could do a side-by-side. I didn't hear from him. I needed to make this video, and I didn't want to keep waiting. So that's pretty much, that's all I'm going to say about Ralph's video. I think he probably should have gotten in. I don't see a reason why he didn't. Yes, he's upset, and I think any of us would be if we were in his shoes too. I'm trying to help some people who've got some serious issues for getting into Walmart. I had one guy who filled in an app 3 months ago. We could not figure out why his app was not going through. Now, about 3 weeks ago, Walmart has a new system called Workday. A lot of applications, I think, got messed up in the process, and I think his was just one of them. But since he used me as the referral, I was able to kick it to my boss. My boss was able to go into the system, contact a couple people, and we finally got it worked out. And this guy who got lost in the system is actually going to be coming to the DC that I work at, and he's going to be going through at Seymour. So I can help you. If you guys need help, my email is in the description below. I've also got the pre-trip guide that I created with my classmates when I went through the class that they now give you guys. When you go to class, they're going to give you a pre-trip guide very similar to the one that I made from my understanding. I haven't seen a copy of it, but every single person who's emailed me and said, hey, they give us a pre-trip now, they say it's almost exactly like mine, but they also say, dude, your pre-trip guide was amazing. I was able to study it before I got to class. That was one less thing I had to worry about. So if you want the pre-trip guide, email me. I'll send it to you. If you need help, email me. I'll help you the best I can. If you use me as a referral, I can kick you up to my boss, my HR. I can do a little bit more because they will be willing to help me help you. If you don't use me as a referral, I will still help you the best I can. I just can't guarantee I can get you the final answer. I might be able to point you in the right direction, and then you can get yourself situated. But there's lots of little things that can happen with an application, from clicking the wrong answer to answering a question the wrong way, or just being lost in the system. It happens. So that being said, I know that was kind of long-winded to get all that out of the way, but I do want to talk about what Walmart is about. If you're looking to drive for Walmart, you may want this information. One of the things that I mentioned in that video was the new cell phone policy. Walmart used to have a policy where you were not allowed to talk on the phone if you were on duty status or driving status. You had to be off duty. That's no longer the case. You also used to only get, I think it was 10 minutes at a time and 60 minutes total for a day. That's no longer the case, except, and this is where one of the things that Ralph kind of had to correct, if you get into, if you have an incident, like you bump a pole or hit something or do something to get in trouble where they write you a step, I think you can get 6 steps before you get terminated. But you think even after 3 steps, they have all these different things. I don't want to say it's hard to get fired at Walmart, because I know that if you violate the cell phone policy in the manner that we discussed earlier, where you get into an accident and you don't submit your cell phone records, or you submit your cell phone records and you were texting while driving or doing something egregious, they can let you go for that. But I can tell you that I've had a couple of camera incidents where maybe I was following too close and I hit my brakes hard, or somebody cut me off. And one time I got called in the office because in Walmart, everyone is a customer. It doesn't matter if it's another driver, if it's a car, a pedestrian, anybody outside your truck could be a customer. So they don't want you blowing your horn at somebody. And I think I mentioned it in that other video. I didn't get a step for that. I basically got a verbal discussion, and that was it. There wasn't even a write-up for a verbal discussion. It was just a, hey, when we went through onboarding, we explained all this to you guys, right? I said, yes. I said, it's just a bad habit. I've been driving for 10 years. You blow your horn, or you use sign language. And that's just the way truck drivers do. I said, it was just, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. I said, so that was the situation. No problem. The following too closely, the safety guy was like, hey, in this video, no problem. I mean, there was no harm, no foul, but you were following a little bit close. Let's back off just a little bit. Or they do monitor your speed. If you're doing over 10 miles per hour for, I think it's at least 10 seconds, which is pretty egregious. I mean, if you're speeding, you're speeding. And if you're doing it for at least 10 seconds, they can ask you about it. I've never gotten a step for that. I did get asked about it one time because I did not catch the speed limit sign where it went from 55 to 45. I saw 35 coming up, but by the time I seen 35, I missed 45. I'd been traveling for 10 seconds at 55. I was over the 10 mile an hour. So they brought me in and said, hey, just want to let you know, this happens. A lot of drivers do it. Just watch your speed going through this area. You got a speeding it's not a violation, but it's a thing in the system where you flags it and says, hey, the driver did this, blah, 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 blah. Some DCs, maybe your guys as safety people or your managers are much more strict about this. I don't know. At Seymour and at Gas City, they bring it to your attention, mention it, whatever. They do what they need to do to keep the driver safe and to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But they're not going, I've never gotten a step for anything. But if you get, it's either 1 or 2 steps. I can't remember how many steps you have to get before they revoke you back to the old cell phone policy for 6 months or 3 months, whatever amount of time they determine. They can do that. I don't know anybody who's had it happen to them. None of the guys that I work with, that I talk to on a regular basis, not saying that it hasn't. I'm sure that some guys have done some stupid stuff or done some things that have gotten them a step, and they had to go back to the old cell phone policy for a short bit of time. But it doesn't mean they can't talk on the phone. It just means they can't be using texting, emailing, things like that unless they're off duty, or if they are on the phone. Of course, all phones have to be hands-free. That's just common sense. And that's not just a Walmart rule. That's a state law, federal law, whatever the law is in your area. That's almost every state has those laws now. So just make sure you're doing the right thing. That's pretty much it. So cell phones now, pretty much you can talk on them as long as you've got a headset, which don't know why that would be a problem for anybody. But you can talk as much as you want as long as you're not going through a construction zone. They don't want you on the phone in a construction zone. And I think it was while you were doing backing or something like that. But that's common sense, guys. I mean, we don't need to be on the phone when we're trying to do other things where our minds could be split. It's just common sense. And if you use common sense, you're not going to have a problem at Walmart. I really don't think so. Nobody I know has. I never have. They've always been really cool about stuff like that. So just use your brain. Walmart Pay. This is one of the things that has been why so many people have been applying for Walmart. The pay, as I mentioned earlier, did have some people upset. The East Coast and the West Coast used to have a slightly different pay system. They did away with that, which was one of the things that Ralph got wrong. They used to have a different pay system for the East Coast. They basically leveled the playing field. Everybody gets the same pay. Oh, you all get $42 to sleep in your truck. You all get the beginning 58 cents a mile or whatever it was. Now I guess it would be, I don't remember. I think this was a year and a half ago when I started. But you all start out at the same number. They raised almost everybody 8 cents a mile. What they didn't get raised was the middle southern part, like Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and the Arizona area are the areas, and I think maybe Wisconsin. Those areas, when everybody else got an 8-cent raise, they only got a 1-cent raise. Walmart said they did that because of the cost of living. Cost of living was much lower in those areas than it was in all of the other areas of the United States. So that's why they only got 1 cent. But everybody got the 50 cents to $1, whatever the activity pay was, for bumping a dock, for dropping a trailer, for arriving in a store, for whatever the live unload, live load, all the activities. So you get paid by the mile, and you get paid for every activity that you do. You stop, you drop a trailer, you hook a trailer, you got paid for each of those activities. So everybody got the same pay raise, 80% of the pay. There was a couple places in the United States that only got a penny because of the cost of living in those areas. Those guys did get upset. They did contact Walmart about it. Walmart ended up raising them to 5 cents. So there's only a 3-cent difference in some of those areas of the country. That's it. Everybody else gets the same. Now, I do know California does have a special $6 per DC arrival, but that is because the traffic in LA, and it's that lower portion down by LA, the traffic is so bad that $6 per DC arrival is to help offset the number of miles they don't get that most other people will. If you're in Chicago, you might have a lot of traffic there. That's why they gave them the 8 cents a mile. Here in the East Coast or the Great Lakes areas, a lot of roads that we travel are 55 miles per hour. We don't get as many miles as some of the guys in Texas do. They got flat land and they can just drive for days. Everything is so spread out there. But they're not going to get as many activities as somebody like I do. And if you guys watched the video, I showed you my paycheck. Showed you exactly what I get paid. That was a 2-week paycheck, and I make the least amount of money that anybody in the company can make because I'm on a 5-2, 5-3 schedule. And when it comes to schedules, I am going to have a video for that I will go over at a later date to kind of explain how that works. But as far as the Walmart pay goes, I am on pace to make about, I want to say it's 110, maybe $120,000 a year. And I work what's called 5-2, 5-3, which means I average 4.5 days a week. Anybody else that's coming in brand new is going to start on a 5-2 schedule, and they should make between 110 and 120,000. They really should. And that's what the safety bonus, the pay, the whole 9 yards. That's what you should gross for 1 year, is probably close to $120,000 a year. All right, had to change the memory card in the phone, so sorry about that. I think I left off talking about basically the pay and home time and schedules. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out a way. I did a spreadsheet of the schedules, the home time, and how all that works. And I'm trying to find a way to make it look good in a video. The first video I did looked like crap. So as soon as I can get that done, I'll post that one. I may get it done today as soon as I get done with this one. But like I said, guys, the pay at Walmart is phenomenal. Anybody that does at least a 5-2 schedule, a 6-2 schedule, or a 6-3 schedule should make $120,000 to $130,000 a year. Like I said, if I'm working a 5-2, 5-3, which means I work 5 days, I'm off 2, then I work 5 days and I'm off 3. So on a paycheck, I average about 4.5 days a week, which you'll see in the video as soon as I get schedules. As soon as I can get schedules done, I work the least amount that you can work, except for a guy who's retiring, who's on a 5 and 5. Again, you know what? The guys that go home daily are going to make less than I do because they're not going to get the $42 a day when they sleep in their truck because they go home. So I take that back. They will make less than I do, but they're the only full-time people that I know that will make less than I do. And I think I'm on pace to make 110 without any referrals. I think I'm up to my 5th or 6th referral for the year, which I appreciate it. Thank you guys again. I will be trying to do something for anybody who uses me as a referral. I just haven't figured out what it is yet. One of the other things that people do complain about is, other than the slip seating, which is usually one of the biggest ones, is the fact that you don't get paid holidays. Now, I know trucking's changed quite a bit, and there are some hourly paid jobs or maybe some local jobs where you get paid holidays off, things like that. If you're wanting home every day, holidays off, and stuff like that, Walmart's not for you. Trucking may not be for you because my dad never had holidays off as a trucker. I never had holidays off as a trucker. And you don't get holidays off now, like I said, unless you find a job where you're hourly or home daily or whatever, where you might have holidays off. But Walmart's big. They got to supply all their stores with meat, produce, general merchandise. And the shoppers don't stop. I mean, unless Walmart is closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas, you'll get those holidays off. They'll be unpaid unless you want to use some of your PTO time for those holidays. But the way that works is Walmart will give you 4 safety days a year. Every quarter, you get a safety bonus. Mine's usually about $750 to $800. And you get a safety day. They give you a paid day off. You can get up to 4 of those a year, 1 per quarter. Now, they also will give you your PTO time. And you accrue your PTO time by the hours worked. When you first start out, I think you get 1 day off for every 120 or 125 hours that you work. So if you work a 60-hour week, 5 days, 12 hours, you're going to get one paid day off every paycheck, every 2 weeks. As you are there longer, then the amount of PTO time you get will go up because they shrink the number of hours you have to work to gain 1 day. I think it goes up to 115 after your first year, 110 after, I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm just giving an example, up to, 100 to, so you could be getting a day and a half for every paycheck after you've been there a couple years. And there's guys who seem to be on vacation more than they seem to be at work. But if you happen to have the seniority to get that day off, that holiday, because they do the days off based on seniority. So if you've been there a while and you're able to take that day off and use a PTO day, you'll get a paid holiday, technically. And some people go, oh, well, you got to use your PTO time for holidays. Think about it. If you're getting a paid day off every 2 weeks, you're getting up to, I think it's 23, your first year. I think it's up to 23 or 24 paid days off a year. If you were to take 8 holidays and pay yourself for those 8 holidays, you would still have 17, 18, between 16 and 18 paid days, PTO days you could use throughout the year. If you took 2 weeks of vacation, you still have a couple of days to use for PTO time. Where are you going to get a job making 120 plus a year? The workload is so light, which I'll talk about the workload in a little bit, where Walmart drivers is mostly either drop and hook or you bump a dock and the associates take the stuff off. You don't touch the freight. You're not allowed to. Again, we'll get into that a little bit. So where are you going to get a job that you're making $120,000 a year, getting safety bonuses, getting safety paid days, and get 2 weeks of vacation and basically paid holidays if you could take the days off? It's insane. It's absolutely insane, the benefits over here at Walmart. So, use your PTO time. Once you get up a little bit, you'll get your paid holidays. When you first start, this is a question I've gotten a lot recently since I did the frequently asked questions video. You're going to start on a 5-2 schedule. You are not going to have Friday and Saturday off. It's just the way it is when you first start out. You're probably going to have Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. Now, once you go through the onboarding process, which I got to talk about the onboarding, I forgot about that. Once you go through the onboarding process and then go to the orientation process and you get hired on, they will ask you if you have a preferred day based on what they have available. They might say, okay, well, we've got a Tuesday out, which basically means Tuesday's your start day. So Sunday, Monday would be your off days. Or they might say we've got a Friday out, which means Wednesday, Thursday would be your off days, because you're going to start Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday off, start back on Friday. They'll give you, there's a little bit of flexibility there. They also let you pick your time. I know a lot of people have come to me and said, hey, I know you work midnights, but I don't want to work midnights. Don't worry. Midnights is not normal. I got midnights because it was an availability that was open. I put my name down for it, and none of the other guys seemed to have wanted it, or I had enough seniority to beat out some of the guys behind me, and I was able to get it. I really expect after about my 3rd year, I might have my own truck, because there's so much growth at Walmart right now. But you get in now, you're getting in at a good time, because Walmart's not just hiring for the DCs they currently have. They're also hiring for the milk and meat plants that they are trying to get rid of the outside carriers from. They are also building DCs for their .com facility. If you guys all heard the news about the one that burned down this past summer in Plainfield, they've already had another plant, another building that they were building that was going to be bigger than that one, because that was their largest .com facility in the country, and before it burned down. But they were building one, I think, that's twice as big next to it. The other thing they started doing, if you're in the Indianapolis area, and I'm sure there's other areas, I'm just not familiar with those, is Walmart drivers ran Sam's Club and Walmart. And technically we still can or still do. But what Walmart started doing is having certain drivers, or DCs, they have a DC in Indianapolis. It's basically an Americold storage or something like that, where we have drivers that just run Sam's Club. Now, a lot of the guys with a lot of seniority from my Gas City, DC, went to that job. I still haven't been able to figure out what happens there, what the job is like. I've reached out to a couple people. I haven't heard back from anybody yet, but I'm working on getting that info for you guys. But there's Sam's Club DCs now too, and those are going to be becoming more and more popular. Walmart's trying to hire, I believe it was 5,000 drivers over the next 3 years. You get in now, a year or two from now, your seniority is going to be much higher than some of the guys who maybe got here 3 years ago because of the boom. You've also got guys that retire. So right now is a great time to get in. You can get your seniority up. That'll help you get your paid holidays, time off, things of that nature. Real quick, what was it I just forgot? I wanted to go back and touch on something. The new onboarding procedures. So Walmart, as you guys may have seen in my old video, there was this boot camp style. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna they call it boot camp. It really wasn't boot camp, but that's what they called it. And that was my video, was Walmart $8,000 sign-on bonus and boot camp. But like I said, all that information is pretty much stale. It's no good. That's why I'm doing this video. So now when you go to onboarding, they'll give you the pre-trip guide. They'll give you the air brake guide. They don't even make you do the 4-point air brake inspection physically. They just have you explain it when you're doing the inside portion of the cab. After you get done with that week at onboarding, and this is where I think Ralph, I don't want to say he got screwed, but he could have benefited from this. After the week of onboarding, if there is something that they didn't like, but it wasn't terribly egregious, they now have what they're calling finishing school. So which I probably would have been sent to finishing school. I barely, if you guys have heard me talk about it and other things, where I had a complete meltdown because of the pre-trip, which is stupid because I was teaching the pre-trip. I had created the study guide for it. But I did the one thing that I advise, I think in almost every video: don't quit your job before you go to Walmart's onboarding. Use PTO time, use vacation time, call in sick, tell them I don't know what you got to do, but do not quit your job before you go to Walmart's onboarding. Then do the onboarding. If you pass, then go ahead and leave your job or give them a 2-week notice. Walmart will work with you. It's not a big deal. Then you can go to orientation later. But if you have something that you're just not quite right, they send you to a week of finishing school. Then once you finish finishing school, they send you to orientation and you go on your merry way. So don't stress out when you go to onboarding, guys, because I don't want to say it's easier to get in now than it ever has been before, but in a way it's easier to get on at Walmart. And I know that upsets some of the older drivers that, they had to get in a much tougher situation. You had to be perfect to get in at Walmart back in the day. When I got on, they had the onboarding, which was not, there used to be, you came out, you did the pre-trip, you got one shot, you got in or you got out. Then they did the onboarding. I got in from the onboarding. Now, if they just need a little bit of help, they send you to finishing school. So that's something that's new about the onboarding, makes it a lot easier to get in at Walmart. I did want to mention that. But the workload at Walmart is very, very light. I don't mean the amount of work. I mean what you physically do. I joke and say that I'm semi-retired at Walmart because if you work at a GM facility, it's a lot of miles and a lot of drop and hook. If you're at a grocery facility, you are going to leave your grocery DC, you're going to go out, do 2, 3, 4 stores, whatever your route is, you're going to bring that empty back, or you're going to get a load of water or whatever your backload is, you're going to bring that back, and they may have 1 or 2 other things for you or whatever, but you get to control what you do for the day. If you get to about 10, 12 hours and you're like, hey, I'm done for the day, you get on your EDTs, you zero them out, whatever you want to do, and you're done. You tell them what you want to do. If it's the weather is slightly inclement, you can park the truck and get paid for weather time. You are the captain of your ship. If you're doing grocery, when you get to a store and it's a live unload, you go to the back door, you hit the buzzer, they let you in, they open up the door, you unlock your lock, They're supposed to pull the little seal off most of the time. The drivers do it. You're not supposed to. You open up the door. They're supposed to put the dock plate in. Again, sometimes it's just a button. I push the button, put the dock plate in. And then they get the electronic pallet jack and they unload all your pallets. You're not supposed to touch anything. You're just supposed to stand there with your paperwork, make sure the right pallets are going to the right store. Excuse me, I got hiccups all of a sudden. The right stuff goes to the right store. They get done, close the door, you put the seal on. They're supposed to put you put your lock on, they're supposed to put the seal on, and then you go your merry way. Now, I say a lot of supposed to in there because drivers usually end up doing those little things anyway, but Walmart doesn't want you doing it because apparently per OSHA statistics or whatever, a lot of drivers get hurt on either slips and falls around their tractors or slips and falls around the trailer when they're loading and unloading. And I don't mean this to sound arrogant or crappy in any way toward associates of the store, but Walmart puts so much money and energy into hiring their drivers that if a driver was to get hurt for a simple thing like he bent over in the trailer to pick up a box and pulls his back or sprains his back and he's out for a week, it is way more costly for Walmart to lose a driver for a week than it is for them to lose a store associate. Again, I'm not saying that one is more or less important than the other. It's a simple mathematical formula. The person in the store, there's a pool of people that they can pull from. They can have somebody come in on their day off. They can hire a new person. They don't get paid as much per hour. The drivers are more valuable in a sense than the store associates. So they want the store associates doing those things so that they don't lose a driver, because they can't just call in drivers on their day off because of our 70-hour regulations and all those kind of things. We don't have the flexibility to just be called in, moved around like they do store associates. They could call another store and have associates come in from another store nearby. So it's much easier for the store to fix a situation with an associate than it is a driver, and that's why they have those rules in place. One of the things I wanted to talk about as far as benefits go is insurance. If you guys look at the video I did with my pay stub, you'll see that the 2-week cost for the insurance that I chose, which was the middle plan, I think it's the PPO plan, the deductibles were only like $30 a visit. I think it's $75 if you see a specialist. I think max out of pocket for my family is, I think, $6,000 or something like that. As far as I can tell, of all the insurance I've ever had, it is some of the best insurance. I think the best insurance I have ever had. I'm getting a lot of dental work done. I was just at the dentist yesterday, and the dental covers 80% of the minor procedures. That my dentist doesn't charge me anything. They just take whatever they get for the cleanings and office visits. They don't charge me any extra. It's extremely affordable compared to any insurance I've ever had. I know some people complain about the insurance, but I think the insurance at Walmart is fantastic. But they also have the Roth 401k and the Walmart stock purchasing. Now, when you purchase stock at Walmart, they give you a 15% discount right off the top, and they'll give you up to, I think it's up to $1,800 a year that you can do that. And then after that, you don't get the discount anymore. But still, to get $1,800 of Walmart stock every year at a 15% automatic savings, the stock market only averages right now it ain't averaging crap, but on average, I think they suggest 6 to 8%, and you're getting 15 right off the top at Walmart. The other thing is the Roth. They have a Roth that you can put into, and then they have the traditional 401k. You put into the 401k, they're going to match 6% dollar for dollar. None of this 3%, 50 cents on the dollar crap. There's not a lot of I'm not saying there aren't any. But there is not a lot of trucking companies out there that are going to offer you a 6% match on your 401k. You can put into a Roth. You can also purchase the stock plan. I mean, the benefits at Walmart are amazing. The way that we are treated at Walmart is amazing. We just had a cookout the other day for the safety quarter. which means we're going to be getting safety bonuses in about 2 paychecks from now, and we got the paid day off and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes they do burgers and brats, sometimes they do chicken, sometimes they have a food truck come out, whatever they decide to do that quarter. But every quarter they do stuff for us. Truck Driver Appreciation Week, they give us something every single day, whether it be food trucks, chicken on the grill, pizza parties. Every store I went to was giving us, cases or bottles of water and candies and snacks and just all kinds of stuff, handwritten thank you cards and things like that. They treat you so good at Walmart. I've heard there's some DCs where drivers don't get treated that great, but they've got to be far and few between. And maybe those managers are even gone now, and the DC is even better. So I think that's pretty much everything that I covered in that video. Like, again, I put that link in the video down below. You won't find it if you search my YouTube channel. You'll only find it by clicking on that link. But like I said, 99% of the insurance information in that video is old information and doesn't apply. There's no more 8,000 sign-on bonuses for people who are applying. There's no more, the pay is now different than it was when I did that video. The cell phone policy is now different than when I did that video. Most of the other stuff is still the same, which I just went over. So if you want to watch it, go for it. If not, that's fine. But if you guys have got any comments, suggestions, if there's anything that I didn't answer that you want to know about, watch some of my other videos, see if it's in there. If it's not in there, feel free to email me. My email is down below as well. I'll send you the pre-trip guide. Whatever I can do to help you out, that's what I'll do. That's why I started this channel. I appreciate you guys greatly. I just hit 500 subscribers, which is amazing, because when I did this, I literally did this first video thinking, hey, I'm just going to get some information out there, and maybe I'll get a referral or two over the course of a year. Maybe not. That wasn't why I did it. I did it just so that people had information, because when I went to onboarding, I looked for this information. I couldn't find anything. There were just a couple of videos. Now, I know there's a lot more guys doing this sort of thing. So, if they've got some information that can help you, great. If not, let me know. I'll do what I can for you. If you've got the right attitude and you've got the ability to just go to the onboarding, pay attention, and do what they tell you to do, you should have no problems. And I think you're really, really going to love working for Walmart. Again, there's some people, if you're looking for home daily, paid holidays, and 80 grand a year, well, then maybe Walmart's not for you. But if you want to make the kind of money that I'm making, like I said, I showed you my paycheck. I got nothing to hide. Walmart is what it is. I'm just going to tell it to you. So again, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel, guys. And let me know if you need anything. Peace.